Ministry of Education, led by the Principal Secretary, Belio Kipsang, yesterday came out to indicate that it is not an assessment. It is not an examination as we know it. It's an assessment that is supposed to continue for the remainder of the third term, and there will be no ranking, there will be no invigilation from external forces or external persons, but instead it will be just a way of getting an appraisal of how the delivery of the CBC has been going on since the start. The full implementation began in January this year. I don't know if there are any concerns from the you are a former teacher, or is it
former? Once a teacher,
once a teacher is a teacher. Okay.
Oh yes,
that's fine. So are there any concerns that the teachers or learners or parents are raising in your county that would raise the questions that we see every other day in the public limelight?
Now, what I think is like a lot of many teachers brought it up initially. There's been a lot of cloudiness as regarding this new curriculum. Too many things were not clear. And you can see that a lot of teachers, parents, and even students thought there was going to be an examination at the end of Standard 3, you know, or at the end of Grade 3. But for some reason, you can see the Ministry of Education, spearheaded by the minister, backtracking and now putting everything in place, because probably they were not ready, or probably they were just not clear about what they meant. So issues are coming up, and many students were prepared. They actually thought they were going to sit an exam at the end of this Standard 3 or Grade 3. But things have now changed. But what I can say is assessing the students at this particular time is a good thing. So that you don't let students continue going on with the curriculum until they get to Standard 7, only to realize that they missed the boat way back in Grade 3. So when you assess, you're able to also correct and improve and pay special attention where there is need. So assessing them is a good thing. For a society that has been so much engrossed in the examinations, the written examinations that you'd see, do you think that within the shortest time possible, it's possible for everyone to get on board and understand this new mode of assessment, and for it to make sense, not just for the learners, but also the parents? I think there's always a beginning of everything, and if everything is made clear, then there's no problem. Parents would know that actually at Standard 3, this is what you're assessing, and then when you get to Standard 6, to Grade 6, this is what is being assessed. So long as everything is made clear, and the Ministry of Education has to come up and really clarify and make things clear so that the students, the parents, and the teachers are on board. But in terms of assessing them at this early age, I think that's good, so that we can make improvements and see where things are not working, and just better the things for the curriculum.
Honorable Gladwell, let me rope into the conversation. Perhaps you can even give us a highlight for us on how the situation is in Baringo. Number one, are students understanding what's happening with them? Because last week, one of the local dailies had highlighted different voices of students saying they also don't understand what's happening. Are students in Baringo County understanding what's happening?
I think the students in Baringo County are not unique compared to the rest in Kenya. What's happening with the rest in Kenya is happening with the people in Baringo also.
Do they feel confident about the exams?
No, I would put it like this, that anything that is new, people will take it differently. Sometimes people are not ready for change. And, you know, like the time 844 came, we were in school, some of us. We were just in primary school. And we were, myself, I was maybe a third lot at the 844 when it was new. And everyone else was scared after the CPE thing. So, but, you know, with the time, we adopted. And you remember, from this current curriculum or the change of education, it seems it's going back to what we used to do, because now, you know, 844, we left everything to do with our hands. We left about the skills. You know, we used to do art and craft. We used to do sewing of clothes and so forth and so forth. Right now, the continuous assessment thing, to me, I feel it's better. Reason is this. You know, subjecting someone to an examination at a particular given point or time, it's not fair. You know,
you agree with the Education Ministry that...
For me, I agree because... Can I tell you why I agree? At times when you get... we are not at the same mood at the same time, all of us, or situation of life, or social life. Sometimes we can be in exam, we can be 4 like the way we are, or 10. One student might have lost a parent, another one is sick, another one is not socially upright, then we are subjected to one exam at a go. You know what will come out of that exam is not fair, because we are not at the same mood.
Talk to me about teachers in Baringo.
Yes.
Come December, they are set to go for another training again.
Yes.
And we saw how the previous training for the CBC have been going on.
Yes.
Some have been interrupted, some teachers agree with the training, others feel that the training was inadequate.
Yes.
What do Baringo teachers feel?
They feel the same. You know, I don't want to put them in a unique situation, but the fact remains, it is important for us as Kenyans, as our teachers, once this thing has been rolled out, let's take it up. Let's just be positive. Let's look at what we can correct. Let's think positively so that we can move forward. Because you see, this forth and backward way of we are handling things is not the best way.
Yes.
For me, let the parents through the Ministry of Education also be made to be aware of what they expect from the school. Because you know we are used to this position 1, position 2 to 10. Now the parent will say, okay, which position are you? And if the child is like, I was not given, the parent will be like,
Honorable Rosa, even as you jump in to give us your feedback and your thoughts on that, talk to me about the issue. Fine, grade 3s may not be assessed, but our normal standard class 8 and Form 4 will still be sitting the exams, and we are approaching exam season. We all know what happens when we approach exam season. Sadly, unfortunately, dormitories are set on fire. As women rep in your current counties, what are you doing to make sure that this does not become the scenario, even as we wait for standard 8 and Form 4 to sit for the exams?
First of all, let me go back to just taking teachers back for refresher course. Just like we're assessing the students to ensure that we pick up special needs or gaps that we might have in the system. It's also good to take teachers through the refresher courses, because they also need to be updated on the skills and what they need to be, what they need to be looking out for. So I think the training that's coming up in December is a good thing, and every teacher should actually take it up and participate. But I'd also like to say that indeed, when we get to the exam time, there's a lot of commotion within our schools. And as women reps, one of the things that we are actually charged with is is motivation and giving civic education and molding, helping in molding our students. And I think many of the women reps do have programs where they actually go to schools, or have people sponsor people to go to schools, professionals to go to schools to talk and give motivational talks and guidance and counseling to the students. So that is one key thing that the women reps do. And I think for the students, we just need to talk to them, because usually what happens when students get nearer the exam, schools are closed to any outsider, so that students are just cramming and making that last-minute preparation. But when you have counselors or guidance and counseling teachers talking to the students and motivating them and encouraging them and making them relax, then you kill a lot of that exam fever or tension that might arise amongst the students, that also leads to things like strikes and burning of dormitories.